You guys, last week I climbed a mountain, a whole mountain. I'll be right back.
Aluminium hot water flask.
Okay.
I'm sure you have seen it in probably a supermarket.
Okay. Oh. Shopping for some hiking gear. You, if you're not coming to Mount Kenya with us, wear your shoes. Wear your shoes. Like we are ready. We are ready. See. You guys, you want sleep. Testing the shoes to make sure that when we climb the mountain, they are not too bad so far. 3Ks in, and they're okay.
Oh no. Should have worn that stuff there.
Nearly done with packing, so I figured just in case you're planning to do this one of these days, I will show you what is on my packing list. These are for changing into at night. I should have carried slippers, but I figure it's cold, so I might as well take these. Then you need lights. So this is like the one you put on your head, and it has different settings for emergency and so on. I've also carried a torch because I'm extra. Warm headgear, and then a fleece. A fleece is really important for wearing inside. And then I have this really warm jacket that is for up there, and it's also waterproof. And then you need, this is thermal underwear, so it's kind of like really warm underwear. If you see inside, it's very, very warm. And then I have like for layering. These ones are also thermal, as is this one. And then rain trousers. These are Summit pants, they're called. And then cap, or you're supposed to carry a sun hat, but my hair right now is not working with that. And then sunglasses, obviously. And then I have like 5 t-shirts. I should have carried 4. It's 4 days. But my daughter suggested I carry 5, which is a wise idea. Some sports bras, because nobody's going to be wearing proper bras. Lots and lots of thick socks. Like when I say thick, they are thick. Then this is a walking stick for when coming back down. You can carry 2. I'm taking 1 because I feel like I don't need much. Then light gloves, thick gloves, raincoat, a must, sleeping bag. These are for sleeping in. They're by a Kenyan brand that I absolutely love called Lift. Because a lady doesn't go anywhere with this without this. And then there's this. It's highly revered by Kenyans. It's supposed to be like a petroleum jelly, but apparently it doesn't freeze in cold temperatures. So everybody recommends this. I've packed some of this just for sugar if I need it. And then mosquito repellent or insect repellent of some sort, some aloe vera gel in case of sunburn, some sunscreen, some hand sanitizer, toothbrush, toothpaste, and a tiny roll-on. And then lots and lots of wipes, because apparently a shower up the mountains in Mount Kenya is a rumor. When I did Nepal, we were given like a bucket and some water, but I'm told I should stock up. And then I have 2 bags. One the porter will carry, the other one I will carry. So the one I'm carrying has to have like my raincoat, and whatever, medicines, and the snack for the day. Talking about snacks, I've packed these Ziploc bags. Some have like a protein bar, a random sugary energy bar, and an apple. All of them have an apple. Some have some nuts. Can't leave home without chocolates. And then a hydration thing that goes into the bag. So that is where my water is stored. A flask for tea in the evenings. What else have I missed? Oh, and then of course this is my emergency bag. This was not on the list, but I am that extra person. So this is my emergency bag that has everything I always travel with this one just because of work. So it has like my chargers will be in there, extra chargers. This is like a bandage. I have my painkillers. I have methylated surgical spirit actually. I have 2 fire blankets. I don't know why I have 2. I have like, this is, yeah, I'm that person. Quick pit stop in Nanyuki town for breakfast. So getting, I don't even know. It's one of those places where you just tell them, bring whatever you have. Oh, there she is. And now she is here saying that the mountain looks cold. Can you see it there? It looks so nice. I'm so happy. I'm already happy. There are plates there.
Where?
Where you are? The red ones. They're just blending into the...
I thought they were.
I like getting permission. Okay, tell us.
Here I am.
That's Sammy.
Yeah, that's Sammy. Yeah.
So tell us,
So,
where are we going?
Masha, for welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for choosing Bucket List Adventures.
We're happy.
So we are happy for now. And so we are the team which will be taking, I'm the head guide. So I'm the one who will be taking most care of you. So we have the rest of the crew there organizing everything, carrying. So we work as a team. So actually the most thing is looking forward to make your trip successful, because it's not like it's not usual like for many people like to go, and it's upon like ourselves, the team, the guides, you know, like to,
As we want to know, are we going to see the waterfalls?
yeah.
That is my question
Yeah,
here.
so for today we are not going for the waterfalls.
But for tomorrow.
Okay, where are we going today? Let's just start from
Yeah.
day
So,
by day.
yeah, so
Lakini ngoja kwanza before uendelee na kizungu. Waterfall iko kwa plan.
Okay, that's how we wanted to hear.
that's
What
why-
else? What else do we
me,
need?
Let me explain why.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah, so for now we are going to Lake Ellis.
Okay.
So we'll
So
be
a nice
taking
lake.
about 3 hours.
Okay.
What time now? What's the watch?
It's 12:30.
12:30. So at around what time you'll be arriving there? Around
3:30.
around 3:30, around
4.
around 4. Let's say 4. So going to the waterfall, it's like a diversion of like
Okay.
more of 2 hours or 1.5.
Okay.
So, and also because you have come all the way from Nairobi,
Yeah.
so, and now because of the time,
Okay.
so we don't want to get to the first camp in the dark, so that you'll be all tired
Yeah, I'm
and
happy with-
everything. So for waterfall next time, but actually,
Wait. Hapo mbeleni ulisema no ama yes?
no,
You said no, yes?
no.
You said no.
Yeah.
I am heartbroken. I am
You
heartbroken.
need
So-
to rewrite that.
I am heartbroken. Like I have a torch. If this is about the dark,
you want to go to the waterfall?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
What if you are tired?
it's okay.
You may not.
It's day 1. How can you be tired on day 1? Tomorrow.
Okay, let me start.
Tomorrow venye hii story inaenda.
Okay.
But it depends, but it
Let
depends.
me start. Let me start again. No, no, no.
Tupeleke kwa waterfall.
Don't start.
You see, 96 again, 71. We have the oldest, yeah. What's the name of your train?
Bemba. And now we have wet socks and wet shoes.
Oh, this is beautiful.
guys. Okay, we are getting there. We are getting. Oh man. You know the thing I need to. One? Yeah,
Go up there. I jump.
Oh shoot. Man. For the love of vlogging, we managed to find the waterfalls that we were crying for. But whew, what an adventure. I slipped in the river. I've slipped on so many rocks. But it was worth it. All of it. I arrived quite late because of the waterfalls, but it was worth it. I'm trying to find light. There is no light. So just about to have some tea in a tent. Oh, there's the light. But that's only because Kay is walking. There. Oh yes, the light is here. I am exhausted. I did not sleep. It is. I was just frozen, like literally frozen. Oh God, I slept like maybe, I don't even know if I slept. I was just awake. I was just cold. The campsite is really pretty. And there's the lake right there. Oh my God, I was frozen. Like, Guys, I haven't slept. That's what I'm saying. So if I sleep while walking today, please understand. Like, guys, this is ice on the tent. Can you see this? And this is the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go this side. Then I'll have this. The mountain. I've woken up now. So, on the way, yes. Guys, hey, lack of sleep because of the cold. But yes, starting day. Wait.
Stella is our photographer for the day.
Oh, hold on. There's everybody else. That's okay. Say good morning.
Good
Or is
morning,
it afternoon?
people.
And that is Anthony behind me. Yeah. So let's see. It's a beautiful day. And right there is our picnic spot. It's in the pots. Let's see. But the eggs and the avo. The clouds have just come down, and it's still so early. Ooh. Doing a photo shoot. It's really nice today. Really good views. These are our views. And this is Anthony. He's just the best ever.
Thank you.
We've had such a good time, and he's telling us all the stories. By the way, this is a holy mountain, so apparently people are not supposed to come here. Oh, yeah.
Let me start with
Day 3.
the names of the main peaks.
Yes,
in Mount
please.
Kenya. We have the highest is Batian.
Batian.
The second one is Merion.
Okay.
The third highest is Lenana.
So we're going to Lenana. Yes.
And those names are named after the sons of a Maasai, a paramount Maasai
Okay.
chief. So the peaks are named after his 3 sons. And also, in Kikuyu community, we believe this is a holy mountain because we believe our God still lives here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that is the
what's the name of the god?
We can take
Guy.
photos with the
Okay.
And the mountain is Kirinyaga.
Kirinyaga.
Yeah,
I hope I said that correctly.
yeah, Kirinyaga.
That is so good to hear. Thank you.
Welcome.
Guys, this place is beautiful. That's Kay. Still admiring. You need to come. You need to come if you don't plan to. I'm so happy. I'm so fulfilled. Oh yes, so I was going to continue from Mr. Kibaki's story of the mountains. The reason I came was because I've been really stressed. Like since the COVID thing happened, work has just been a nightmare. Everybody's lives been interrupted, and I was starting to feel like I'd reached the end of my tether. And for me, when I get there, I need to go to a mountain. And even when you think about it historically, it's something that people did to worship and sort of reset. And yeah, so I'm happy to be here. Really, really happy day. So we're going there, where you see the two little things. And then behind somewhere is where we're supposed to be. We don't know how we'll get there, but we'll get there. Not that it makes a difference, honestly. So that way is to Shipton apparently. And then I think this way is where we're going. I have no idea. Which way? Up? Where are we going? Point. There. Hey, jeez, guys. We have decided, gosh, that they will run in one day to the top and down. One day. One day.
One day.
Spot. So now we're heading there, between those two. Oh gosh, there, between those two. We've just finished the toughest part yet. Those rocks coming up there. Hey, never doing this route again. But the snow looks so pretty, and in the sun stuff. I don't know what brought me here. It's hard. I'm exhausted now. Oh, but the views are worth it.
Lewis Glacier, permanent.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's now coming.
Ah, so no matter how hot it gets. So this is supposed to be a cave that we really wanted to see. But it's frozen over. But it's beautiful anyway. Hold on, let me flip the camera. So if this wasn't frozen over, this is sort of like a glacier. Whew, look, just look at this. Oh my word, it's so beautiful. Anyway, there goes that. We can't go in today and take our pictures. We'll just take some from outside. And I'm exhausted. It's freezing. But yeah, it was a good day. I think I'm exhausted. I am cold. I just went to sleep. And the cabin that was supposed to sleep in is locked. God. Anyway, the glacier was beautiful. Apparently it was much bigger, so everywhere I'm walking, so if you see, oh, you can't even see, it's far behind me. But where I'm walking was all glacier, but then obviously global warming, yada yada yada. It's now like a really tiny sort of thing. And it will probably disappear in the next couple of years. So the guy was actually like, you're lucky you came while it's still here. Which is really sad. We couldn't get into the cave because it snowed in. But yeah, really beautiful. Tomorrow we wake up, we sleep early today. Wake up at about 2 in the morning or 3 and head to the summit. But the altitude is starting to do me in. That's why you see me like blinking and breathing heavily. So I'm feeling like a lot of tension in my head, like a lot of pressure. But other than that, I'm okay. A lot of breathlessness. So I just want to kind of settle down, get that organized, so that tomorrow we are back in business. But yeah, thank you for still being here. See you tomorrow at the summit. Until I look a lot better to do this, but today is not that day. This is what you get. I am exhausted, but anyway, it's still a beautiful day. We're coming down. We came from, hold on, let me flip the camera so I show you where we're coming from. I am so tired. I look a mess. Oh my goodness, but it's been This snow has given us headaches. We have suffered. Oh, that's okay. Trying to slide down. I don't know what she's trying to do this one.
Yeah.
Go. Until I look a lot better to do this, but today is not that day. This is what you get. I am exhausted, but anyway, still a beautiful day. We're coming down. We came from, hold on, let me flip the camera so I show you where we're coming from. I am so tired. I look a mess. Oh my goodness. But it's been raining. But now, so we went up today, summited, and then we started coming down. So we came from somewhere there, up there. Whew. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. We've stopped for some water and some snacks. But let me catch up with you later. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness, last night was so dramatic. Like, it was all sorts of drama, but I think I will wait to get to Nairobi, settle down, and then I will tell you that story. But I got a bed, a whole bed with a pillow and a shower and a meal, so I am happy. Guys, I'm exhausted and I don't know what's happening, but my lips are swollen and all sorts of weird, I don't know. Guys, just don't go climbing mountains. Go to the beach. Do whatever things people do. It is normal. Just don't do this. But I'll tell you the stories in a bit. Let me just organize myself, get back to Nairobi, and then I will do a summary of last night. I got here at half midnight. I'm exhausted. Nobody's waking up. We're supposed to be heading out to Nairobi now, but all of us are still in our beds, I think. But yeah, I'll talk to you in just a little bit. So we've stopped somewhere, and this is a really cute, curious place. Oh, go inside. Oh, these really nice curios. Why don't you give me another extra egg for my son?
Which one?
Buy two.
Which one?
The one you can give me for free yourself. You're the one who knows which one you can let go. Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Like, I got back today and my feet are just swelling and I know my toenails will fall off. I don't know what to do with these sausage feet. Yes, so I climbed the whole mountain. Just to give a bit of background, I was really, really exhausted. I had been working as though all of COVID depended on me since it started. So I decided, even before the lockdown was done, that I would, sorry, I'm working as I speak to you, even though it's after 5. But yeah, I decided that as soon as this was done, I would climb a mountain. I love mountains. They're just so refreshing, so relaxing. I needed to rest. Like, everybody needs to rest. I know some people go to the beach, and a lot of people have told me that this is not resting. But in my world, that is resting. You go outdoors, get some physical exertion in, and it prevents you from thinking about work. So anyway, let's do the Q&A. I'd put a question in my stories, and there are a lot of good questions that have come, so I'm excited to answer those. Let me get started. The first one I'll tackle is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it in terms of difficulty? Okay, again, let me backtrack a bit. I did a 4-day trek, going and coming back. I highly recommend that you do 5 days. If you want to do the Chogoria route, that's what they call it. They call it the Chogoria route. Then you summit Point Lenana is what it's called. Guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it in terms of difficulty? I think if I'd done it 5 days, I would put it at a 6.5. But because I did 4 days, I am going to say the first 3 days were a 5. And then the last day was like an 8.5 to 9. It was a mess. I will go into more detail as I speak, but yeah, it was a mess. Can you turn back if you fall sick? Like, what happens in case of an emergency? Yes, you can turn back. In fact, the guides told us that a lot of times not a lot of times, a few times they've had to make a hard decision where they turn around because somebody's not feeling well. And yeah, so you can turn back. One of the other things we did before going was get insurance. So AMREF were offering like insurance that included you being airlifted in case of anything at about 3,500 shillings, which is like $35 roughly. So yeah, you get insurance, you can turn back. How many hours of sleep are you all given a night? The way this question is framed, it's almost like somebody's giving you permission. Hours of sleep, you actually get a lot of hours of sleep. I think we'll go, depending on what time we got to the campsite, we would go to bed at, well, ideally, we were supposed to go to bed at about 9 p.m. maybe, and you wake up at 6. So you got a lot of hours. However, I did not sleep one bit in that time because first night was just freezing. We camped out at Lake Ellis and it was just miserably cold. I was in this little tent and I carried the wrong sleeping bag. Guys, if you're going to go, tip number 1, buy a proper sleeping bag, the heaviest, the thickest you can find in the store. I took my son's sleeping bag. It was a nightmare. It was freezing. It was cold. I could not sleep. The second night was cold, not as cold as the first night, but I just for some reason couldn't sleep. And the guide told me it's normal with altitude, so maybe that's why I couldn't sleep. And then the third night, why couldn't I sleep? Oh, I could hear rocks falling from the mountain. First of all, we slept late. Then we were supposed to wake up at 3 in the morning. So you have that thing that, you know, the first time you're going to the airport, or you can't sleep because you know you might oversleep. So yeah. And then there were rocks falling the whole night. So I really just couldn't settle down and sleep. So I was really sleep deprived the whole time. But you do get enough hours of sleep except on the last day. Also, does it mean no showering for all those days you're climbing? I feel shy, but yes, it means no showering. My friend, if you're going, get a sponsorship from Dettol or Faye or whoever does your wipes because you will live off wipes. And I mean, it was different when I did Nepal. Nepal, they have these, what they call tea houses. So they're like little villages up in the mountain. And when you reach a place, they give you like a little room. Fine, it's smaller than Nelson Mandela's cell, but it's a room. It has a small bed. And then in the morning, you get a bucket full of water. It's cold, but it can still, you know, yeah, you can make a plan. This place, my friends, no. You go, you and your wipes are tight like this. I carried, I don't know how many packets of Dettol wipes, and I ran out. I came back with like half a packet, and I'd gone with like maybe 7 or 8 small ones, and the big one, they have a bigger pack. But yeah, used all of it. In terms of the toilet, you go behind the bushes. Whenever you need to go and pee, you just tell the guides, and they stop, and you scuttle off into the bushes or behind a rock, and you do what you need to do. But it's okay. I mean, it's fine. At night at camp, they would put up a portaloo, so at least then you could do your business properly if you needed to. And in terms of showering, they also had a little basin and the heat water for you if you asked, but it was like 1.5 liters of water, so you couldn't do very much with it, but it worked. And ladies, if you're going, carry extra tampons, carry extra pads. The mountains do their own crazy things, so you don't want to be caught unawares. The next question is, what's the food situation when you're climbing? What do you eat? I went with Bucket List. I think they're called Bucket List Adventures or Bucket List Kenya. One of those, but Bucket List. Just look up Bucket List. We had a team of 8 with us, and that team included a senior guide or the lead guide, an assistant guide, a chef. Well, chef might be a bit of a stretch, but he was really good, called Salim. And then there was like a guy who used to do the serving, more like the waiter type person. So he's the one you'd ask for things. And then the other 4 were porters. But the team was really good. the chef cooked. So it was, breakfast would be like a porridge normally. You'd also get like a starch. There was always bread. Every meal had bread. You'd get sweet potatoes, you'd get eggs, sometimes you got pancakes. Lunch would normally be something they could whip up on the go, because they'll just set like a picnic type thing. You sit on the floor and it would be maybe boiled eggs and baked beans and avocado and bread. Then dinner would always have like, first you'd get to camp and you'd have tea or coffee, and then you could get, I think there was almost always a soup. Yeah, I think there was always a soup of sorts. I didn't enjoy it, so I took it the first day and then I didn't take it again. And then you'd get like a proper either rice and beef or spaghetti and goat maybe on one day. Yeah, so it was okay based on where we were. It wasn't 5-star, but it was really good food, and you had more than enough. We always had more than enough. So there was food. Do not worry about food. Next question. What fitness levels do you require to do it, or what prep? And there was another one around, do you need any climbing? Is it true you don't need any mountain climbing experience? Yes, you don't need any mountain climbing experience. Guys, think of it as you're going for a walk in the wild, and then you have to climb up a few things and climb down from a few things. So it's not that scary. You don't need to be a mountain climber. There's no such thing. I guess if you go, so this is the other thing. There are 3 peaks. So if you're going to take 2, there are 2 others apart from Point Lenana. The other 2, you need to have some mountain climbing experience, because there's a lot of technical climbing required there. But for this one, it wasn't that type of mountain. This peak is easily accessible to anybody. There were some scary bits, and I'll get to it because I saw a question on it. So I'll get to the tough parts. And then in terms of prep, my random self, as always, went without very much prep. But if I were to advise you now, in hindsight, and I do this all the time, like I don't prep, but still, I will justify and say I'm not a normally sedentary person. I'm fairly active. So I've been doing a bit of running this year. I did a lot of walking anyway. And then I do my general workouts. I haven't been very good at it this year, so I wasn't as strong as I could have been. But I think you just need to have some strength. So if I were to advise you now, having done Mount Kenya specifically, what you need to focus on, your whole body, my friends, your whole body. But number 1, try and get as many walks in, as long walks as you can, because you'll be walking for hours a day. Like on the last day, we were walking for 15 hours when I did the math. And that's me removing the lunch break and the tea break and breakfast. We were walking for 15 hours in one day. The other days, we're walking for about 4 to 5, 6, 7 hours. Normally, it's about 5 to 8 hours. So get used to being on your feet. That would be my top recommendation. If you can go for some hikes, go for some hikes. I went to Karura Forest and did an 8-kilometer and counted it as a hike. But the same guys who organize these always organize hikes at the weekend so that you can get ready, find somewhere hilly to walk, and then try and get your core as strong as possible, because there are places in the mountain where you have to like really brace. Like there was a place where we were walking and it's sort of slanted, and then it's scree, what they call scree, which is like gravel, so it's slippery. So you have to like walk with your feet sideways, and then you have to brace, you have to lean. Wait, are we leaning into away from? I don't even know, but your core came into play. And even when we were going to the summit, there were some areas where you were literally holding onto the rock in a plank position before you could move to the next stage. So your core needs to be in a bit of decent form. You will be pulling yourself up in a few areas, so you still need that sort of strength. So that's, I think, just do some full body movements and do a lot of walking. If you can run. And then one more thing to prep is breathing. Breathing, guys, is so important, because the higher you go, the harder it is for you to get the right levels of oxygen in. And it was just, if you couldn't breathe, it became a nightmare because you were tired, you got lightheaded. So if you can practice yoga, people will get this. So you kind of do the deep breaths and so on. I won't go into that, but you get the point. How long does it take? It took us 4 days, as I've explained, but I would recommend you do 5 days if you want to enjoy it. Had I done 5 days, I'd have come back so happy. I'm really sad that I didn't, that I did 4 days, because then the last 3 hours of the experience were just horrible. And it didn't have to be horrible. Hold on a second while I find more questions. That's how many screenshots. How was the experience? And this is a Kenyan confessing that they haven't climbed it. It was amazing. It was brilliant. Do it, do it, do it. I'll share some pictures and you will see what I mean. Like, it's beautiful. Every morning you walk and it's just, can't even describe it. I'll just send you the pictures. Tell us about the whole experience. I am doing that right now. Not a question, tell me a story. Present for that. When you got tired, how did you keep pushing? And was it scary on your way down? Right, when I got tired, how did I get? Okay. I remember at some point I got really tired and I had to pull myself in and say, listen, you've done Spartan races. Literally, I had to draw on a memory of me being in Greece last year, climbing up a hill and just this was Greece, and I remember just folding over in half, holding my knees and asking myself, what am I doing here? And literally, then I got up and continued going. And 5 minutes later, I was taking pictures, jumping with these Greek boys and having a good time. We're still on the race. So I sort of just tapped into those memories of you've done far worse. You've done things that are tougher than this. You've done things that are harder than this. So when it got tough, it was only in the last day that it got tough, really. The summit itself is a pretty intense experience. And for us coming back down was actually really, really tricky, because we found places where the snow, there was a lot of snow, first of all. And then we found places where the snow had melted and it would be so slippery that you couldn't really do anything. So what the guides would do is they would brace themselves, step on the slippery part, and then ask you to step on their foot, on their shoe, for you to ground yourself, and then we sort of moved like that. So it took us a long time to get down, and it was very scary in parts. Not for me necessarily, because like I'm saying, I've done some crazy stuff in my life, so I sort of knew that I was okay, but there were other people and I kept worrying about them. But it was okay. Everybody managed. Is there a network? No, there is no network. There is no network, and I was so thankful for that. I found a bit of network on the first day. There were some points. I think if you left your phone on, you could get a bit of network, and then your messages would just come in, and then as soon as you try to respond, it's off. And on the second day, I actually got some bad news. So after that, I just wouldn't turn on my phone. And then at the peak, at the summit, there is network. So that's when I was able to send messages home and say I'm okay. And then after that, there was no network for till we were closer down. How did you charge your phone? I have this massive power bank that's about 20,000 capacity. So it kept me going. I'll charge every evening because obviously we're taking pictures. However, it was so cold that the phone battery would drain. So the advice was that keep the phone close to your body so that it's a bit warm. Otherwise, it would just drain without you doing anything. Does it get scary? Yes. I had some moments where I got scared. I'll explain them in a second. I want to see if there's any similar question. Does it get scary? There were two, and there was a two. What are the best and worst moments? Does it get scary? It depends on what you mean. In terms of safety, no, you didn't get scared. It was safe. There are no humans. Humans are the horrible beings on this planet. There are no humans. So it was fine in terms of safety and security. Okay, not safety, security. Let's be honest. Safety is a different story altogether. But in terms of security, it was very okay. It was chill. It was lovely. It was peaceful. Scary moments were like I was describing, where people are descending very difficult terrain, and so you get a bit nervous because I was with a lady who's slightly over 50, but she was strong. Like, guys, those of you who are asking about fitness levels, just be strong. That's all I'm saying. Because she wasn't like your typical, oh, she lives in the gym and has a six-pack and she's not 30, she's not 25, she was in her early 50s, but she was strong and she was leaving us behind with all our gym showing off. So you just need to be strong. But like I said, when we were walking on the scree, like going downhill and then you had to walk sideways, that was a bit scary for me, particularly because this was on the last day. I was totally sleep deprived. I was feeling dizzy and I had a headache from the altitude that wouldn't stop. So it was very hard for me to get down there. But the guys were so experienced that they managed to get me through. And then the last bit, because it got really dark, we were walking in the dark for about 3 hours, maybe 4. No, I exaggerate, maybe 3. So that was also a bit hard because the guide was then panicking about elephants and buffaloes, and that got a bit scary. But other than those two sort of spots on the descent, no, it wasn't scary at all. Worst moments were those that I've described, where I was feeling, I had a headache, I was dizzy, I was tired. And then my toes started to hurt. God, they hurt. Because when going downhill, we'd been on our feet for so long, and every time you step down, it was like the toes were stubbing in the shoe. Right now, they're still like, the nails are now black. It was a mess. But other than that, all good. What did you wish you packed while up there that's not on their list? So they give you a really comprehensive list, and we got almost everything. The only things, 2 things. Number 1, SPF for your lips, my friends. SPF for your lips. Like, underneath this, black lips. I had SPF for my face, didn't think about my lips. I don't know why, and they burned, even though there was no real sun. And number 2, chevda. Do you guys know what chevda is? Okay, fine. Kenyans know it, my Zambians don't. Basically just salty snacks. I think we drank so much water that my body just started craving salty snacks. And because in my normal life, I'm not a snacker, it didn't cross my mind that this was important. So the snacks I'd carried were protein bars, apples. I think that was mostly it. And then I had 1 packet of cashew nuts that did nothing. And yeah, so I think if you're going to carry a bit of salty snacks, you have to drink at least 3 liters of water every day to help with the altitude. And I was taking about 4. So I feel like I overdrank, I overhydrated. So yeah, salty snacks and protection, sunscreen for your lips. How many hours to climb, fitness levels, I've addressed that one. Did you need to do any conditioning beforehand? I am useless, so I didn't, but you might want to do it just so you have a better experience. Oh yeah, there was the worst and best moments. Worst were the parts where I had the headache and the parts where I was worrying about the people I was with. Best, everything else, my friends, was the best. Day 1, I loved just the disconnecting and plugging into nature. We went to see these beautiful waterfalls. There'll be some pictures somewhere. And then we came upon this little hut that was built during the Second World War. It's like a wood cabin. And apparently the story, I don't know how true it is, guides sometimes tell you interesting stories, but the story is there was a lady, some Caucasian lady or British lady, I don't even know what she was, but she went there to write during World War II just to kind of insulate herself from everything. And I could relate, because if I could, that would be me. Like, there's a world war going on, I'm out. So that was really nice. It was just it gave me a moment to just like stop and reflect. And that's the only day I did any thinking, really. So I came up with some really brilliant ideas that I need to execute on that day. Day 2, 3, and 4 was just hanging about, but day 1 was really good for me for disconnecting. And then we slept next to this lake where when we woke up, it was just beautiful. Then the next day we saw this the lake that you see from what they call the temple, which is on it. Everything else was beautiful, guys. Everything else. At some point when we're going up a really tough terrain, I literally just put my the walking thingy in, and I turned and looked back at where we'd come from. Worth every moment. This was on day three. I think I've answered most of the questions, and I realize I've gone into 20 minutes. So I will stop here. Yeah, please allow me to stop here. And I have a YouTube channel that is uploaded once every 6 years or something because I just couldn't be bothered. So what I'll do is I'll do a longer version where I'll put in some clips of the rest of the hiking, like a few of the videos that we took on the way. And yeah, I will share that. It will be in the link in bio. And then if you go there, I have like outlined some things. You see, I think, I don't know, you find a link to my YouTube channel anyway. It has like 3 other videos. This will be the 4th one, even though it was open like 4 years ago. But yeah, that is what I will do. But it was nice catching up with you. I hope I've answered all your questions. If I've missed anything, just put it in the comment section and I'll get to it. But yeah, have a lovely day. I do hope you go. Oh, costs. I'm sorry, I was saving this for the end. So 4-day tour costs, if you're going as part of a group, it costs 35,000 shillings, I think. 35,500 shillings, which is about $350. So it's not too bad. I think it's actually very reasonably priced for 4 days. And like I explained, you have a team of 8, and this was just 4 of us. Well, we paid a bit more, but you get a team, a full team. You get guides, you get porters, you get, what else? You get food, you get transport to and from Nairobi. So that's fine. That's $350. But because I didn't want crowds, I do not want humans. The whole point I was leaving was to leave humans behind. So I paid a bit extra. I think I paid, they calculate, it's mostly on the transport where they calculate based on how many you are. So we paid a bit extra. And then because we did the 4 days and the last day took us so long, we had to sleep there. So we paid a bit extra to sleep, an extra night. But yeah, it was an adventure and a half, guys. A beautiful adventure. I'm supposed to go back in October, but I'm waiting for certain information because in October we want to do the crazy, go all the way to the top and back down in 1 day. And the guide told me that he needs to check that that's still okay to do with the park officials because we were in trouble for coming back late. But if it's possible, then October. Next year, I'm doing Kilimanjaro. You want to come with me? Let me know. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me and thank you for indulging me for this long. Have a lovely, lovely week. Take care of your mental health as much as you do your physical health.